Good morning and welcome back. Today we're going to look at the Module 6 Lesson 5, which is just putting together everything that we've been doing the first 2 weeks in Module 4, or Module 6. So the slowest mammal on the earth is the tree sloth. It moves at a rate of 6 feet per minute. And then it tells us that the time is in minutes, and then notice that here it says X. So that means we're going to put the X down here and the time down on the bottom. And then it tells us the distance is Y, and that's in feet. And we're going to title this Tree Sloth. So the first thing it says to do is to graph the data on the given coordinate plane with labels. So we've got 0, 0. And if you want to, you can write the coordinates underneath if that helps you. Then it says 1, 6. And we know it goes in that order because we have X, Y. So then we're going to go over 1 and up 6. Here the X is a 2 and the Y is a 12. So again, starting from the origin, we're going to go over 2 and up 12. Here we've got 3, 18. So we're going to go over 3 and up 18. And then here we have 4 and 24. So we're going to go over 4 and up 24. And then we're going to connect the dots. So B says, is it proportional? So when you're deciding if it's proportional, you could do whatever you're more comfortable with. You can look at the table or you can look at the graph. So because the graph is linear and starts at the origin, we know that the answer will be yes. When it says to explain using the table, we have to look at what we multiply x by in order to always get y. So 1 times 6 gives us 6. 2 times 6 gives us 12. 3 times 6 gives us 18. And then 4 times 6 gives us 24. And then we can go back and check our 0. And 0 times anything, including the 6, is going to equal 0. So for C, where it says explain using the table, we can say yes, x times 6 is always y. And then for D, when it says, okay, we'll explain it using the graph, we can say yes, the graph is linear, or if you prefer to, you can say line. You don't need to say straight line because a line by definition is straight. And goes through the origin. So, we started by just graphing points, then we looked at tables, we looked at graphs, and now we're just putting it all together. So number 2 is actually the last one in the lesson. It's a short lesson today, short homework, which is nice. The cost of renting video games from Gamefly is shown in the table below. So I'm going to use Gamefly as our title. It says that the number of games is our X. And then we know the cost in dollars is the Y. So it says to graph using labels. So we already went ahead and labeled. I do think it's helpful to write the coordinates out before we graph them. Or you could do it one at a time. So we go over 1, up 3, over 2, up 5, over 3, up 7, over 4, up 9. And if you wanted to, if you rent 0 games, it's going to cost you nothing. That would put the 0 down in the bottom so that you can get an idea that this is actually not going to be a proportional relationship. So when it says, is the cost proportional? Our answer here will be no. When we look at the table, 1 times 3 does give us 3, but 2 times 3 does not give us 5. Let's say we forgot that, and then we check this one here. We know definitely that 3 times 3 is not 7, and 4 times 3 is definitely not 9. Oops. And we decided to make the one on the bottom totally upside down just for fun. So on C, we're going to put no. X times 3 is not always y. The reason we say not always is because it was on the first one, just not past that. When we look at the graph, we can say, no, the graph is not linear. So you don't need to give the reasons why it works, so like starting at the origin, but you are going to want to make sure you say the reason that it's not. And that's it. Have a great day.